Hi guys! So I was asked to talk more about antidepressants after my video on withdrawal and my experience with it. I need to say that now I'm completely off my medication. I feel good again. I don't have the withdrawal symptoms anymore. And it feels really good because I can finally sleep better and exercise and do all the regular stuff that I used to do. So since I'm a chemist and it is all really interesting to me, I decided to make a video not only on antidepressants but also on other sorts of mental health medications that most of them I have been on in my life at some point. Please mind that you should never take any medication unless it was prescribed by your doctor. You should never self-medicate. You should follow the dosage and the frequency of taking the medication that your doctor tells you. And again, there is no magical pill to cure anything. The medication is designed to help you go through stuff, but still in a lot of cases therapy is absolutely necessary to make you feel better, and the medication alone cannot do all the job for you. You cannot always just prescribe a medication to a person and expect them to magically get better, and sometimes you need to try several ones and like increase or decrease the dosage. So it is trial and error, and I used to think that doctors are this sort of like magical people who are just absolutely genius and they know everything and they will just give you a pill and it will make you feel better, which is not the case because everyone is different, every condition is different, every person responds differently to each sort of medication. So do not expect the first one you try really help you, although that also happens sometimes, but sometimes it takes more time to sort of find your thing. So okay, let's start with antidepressants. Now we are sort of in the third generation of the antidepressants that have less side effects. They still do have a lot, but sometimes the good outweighs the bad, so sometimes you still have to take them. I had a somewhat positive experience with antidepressants because I took them for less than a year, and although it was kind of hard to taper in, for the first month I was just sleeping all the time, so I was prescribed to take them every morning, but then I would just sleep almost all day and then all night, which I don't really sleep that much. But also maybe it was just all the anxiety that kept me from sleeping, because before I had a lot of sleeping problems, so I thought that maybe it's just like my anxiety went away and I was just sleeping all the hours that I owed to my body, and like until it kind of balanced itself out. I don't know, maybe it was that. But then they became sort of okay and I started taking them in the morning, and yeah, I had quite a positive experience with it. So most popular antidepressant medications are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which kind of prevent serotonin from absorbing back, and so they keep the concentration of it in your bloodstream higher. Antidepressants are not only used to treat depression, but also anxiety and panic attacks, insomnia, in some cases ADHD, and sometimes pain. There are a lot of side effects to antidepressants, and I will not go into detail here, but I will say that I had some of them, not many of them, but some of them are really annoying. So there are about 6 or 8 different kinds of antidepressants. As well, there are serotonin and norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. I was on this one as well for a couple of months. I think that my doctor wanted to keep me on that for longer, but it had more side effects. It kind of was way more powerful. I didn't really feel like myself that much, although they did a great job of stopping panic attacks and stuff. Also, what should be noted is that antidepressants can increase suicidal ideation and just suicidality in general, but I think that it might be due to just giving more energy to you, and if you were like too depressed and too like drained to plan your suicide, maybe antidepressants at first can give you that energy to actually go through with it. So it needs to be really noted and like taken care of, especially in adolescence and in your 20s, people are more susceptible to that. Another group of medications are anti-anxiety medications, and they are obviously used to reduce anxiety and panic attacks, fear and worry. They include benzodiazepines like clonazepam, ivosapam, which is illegal in most countries. In my country it is legal, and they are usually taken topically. So when you feel like you're going into a panic attack, you just pop one pill, it calms you down, and then everything is good. They actually do make you really sleepy. They do have a lot of side effects. I have heard people saying that they either lost or gained a lot of weight on these medications. As for me, they just made me really nauseous and somehow sleepy, so I wouldn't be able to eat properly the next day after I took it. So I tried not to take it too often, because when I'm stressed I have problems eating food as it is. But they are really powerful and really healthy, but they are also very addictive. So if you are prescribed this medication, just take them as your doctor told you, and you can really get addicted to them, so be careful. But they also have a really short half-life, so they are really like working super fast, and you just take a pill and like in half an hour you already see an effect, which is somehow good, because well, for example, I had some really like stressful conversations, and I already saw that the conversation is like going somewhere I don't want it to go. I would just like pop a pill and be calmer and just be able to like tolerate the situation without cutting myself or whatever. They really do help with panic attacks and all this kind of stuff. So yeah. Another group is stimulants, and they are mostly used to treat ADHD in children and adults. This I never took in my life, because I was never diagnosed with ADHD or anything like that. But they also are used to treat narcolepsy and sometimes depression. People can worry about giving them to their children because it can seem like they would get you addicted, but as far as I know, studies have shown that they don't really show any noticeable addictive traits, and that actually children who took this medication were less prone to be drug addicts in the future. But I'm not promoting taking this medication in any case, but just don't be scared if your doctor prescribes this to you or your kid, because probably they do know better. There are antipsychotic medications which are used to treat psychosis, schizophrenia, psychotic depression, and just hallucinations, you know, all that psychotic traits. I think that I had it also as like a topical thing, so I used to get really like snapped out of the reality, and it would lead to me really like cutting myself very much, because it was the way that I coped with it. And the last group is mood stabilizers, and I also was on that, and I had a horrible experience with it because it caused half of my hair to fall out, and it even caused me way more stress than it actually helped. So I had to stop taking it cold turkey, but I was only taking it for a couple of weeks back then, so it was not as bad, and I didn't have like any real withdrawal symptoms. Also, it just made me feel like I'm not myself, so I would not react to anything that I would usually react to. I had no emotions whatsoever, just felt like a robot or like an alien, or like I'm in a shell of my body, but there's really no me anymore. But this is just my experience. Maybe the dose was not correct, or maybe just the drug was not selected properly, but the most famous one is lithium, which is used to stabilize patients with bipolar disorder. I think that it has proven to be very effective over the years. And one thing that you should know is that if you're taking lithium, you should regularly go and see your doctor and check your blood levels for lithium. There are also anticonvulsants that can be used for mood stabilizing, and this is what I took. So they are also used to treat epilepsy. Yeah, so I think this was it. I sort of shortly went through most of the medications that there are. Again, follow your doctor's orders, don't self-medicate. Take your medications as prescribed. Don't quit cold turkey, because it can usually lead to even worse consequences. And stay healthy and be a nice human. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and goodbye.